With the release of Set 4 Ultra Limit Infusion World, I'm going to be doing my preliminary tier list for the leaders here. This is just based off what I have seen so far. Obviously, the set has just released, so builds and testing has not been finalized. I haven't even tested every single deck myself, but hopefully we can get some things right. And after I've tested out a lot of the decks, after we've seen a lot of the results, we'll look back and see if anything changes. In terms of my set 3, I think I was mostly spot on, so I didn't really need to make a final tier list for that. But let's just jump into it here. We have a lot of leaders here. It's getting more and more by the day. And not only do we get the 5 brand new leaders, but then you also have the starter deck leaders as well. So with 7 additional leader cards to be rating today. So let's start things off with androids. I think androids is still an S tier deck build. We got like 1 card, and that is the Android 18 Searcher, which it really kind of needed anyway. So it's very, very strong, and then it has so much flexibility. If you want to go tall, you want to go wide. Very, very good stuff. Then we have Baby. We're starting off with a brand new leader already. I think Baby is really, really strong from what I have seen. It is very, very aggressive. A lot of swings. And the fact that you can just combo rest modes just means that you can, you know, attack even more. And then the Trunks recouping your cards is just insanely good. It's just a very, very, very good deck. Maybe one of the best for this set. Then we have OG Bardock. I unfortunately got nothing. Why did he get nothing for this set? He should have got like 1 card. I cannot believe it. Technically, you can run some of the black cards that got released, but no dedicated support in how he works is kind of lame. Especially because if he was to get like something like a Bardock squad member, then the scribe effect could be more potent. Like a card that like if comboed from the deck to get some value off or something, it would have been so nice. But no, I guess maybe next set it would be a good ability. It's still a great deck regardless. It's just black is just, you know, great in general, so it's like A. Then we got Beerus here. Kind of got dethroned a little bit. The crit leader is just really not helping out a lot at this day and age. You just need a lot of cards to be protecting yourself, and of course he wants to awaken as well. The Neg 10 is great, but now we've got a better card that's coming up. I'm sure if you've seen other tier lists, you know what that better leader is going to be once we get there. But he's still an A. Red got a lot of great cards, so like a lot of the red cards, a lot of the red leaders are going to be jumping up just a bit higher. If I was to say who got the least buffs, it's probably blue. If I was to say in order from worst buffs to best buffs, it's probably like blue got the worst buffs. Then maybe green. Green got some great cards, but, you know, not that many. And then yellow. And then probably black and red is like tied or something like that. It's hard to measure that. Then we got Ultimate Gohan. As much as I wanted him to be the greatest deck of all time, he really is not. I've tested him out the most in terms of the new leaders. In terms of, I've used him the most out of all of the new leaders because I have a lot of the blue cards just sitting around in my storage. And I think he plays, what I'm looking at him now is he plays as a Rush Blue deck that doesn't really care about hand size. And so to me, it feels like a Goku Black where you're trying to cheese out the 6-cost Vegito as fast as possible. Except the problem is you now give your opponent another win condition, which is destroy Vegito after the deck out as well. Which is very likely to happen, especially when they have 2. And it's not the hardest thing to get rid of 2 Vegetos. Once 2 Vegetos out, they're most likely decking out the next turn because they want to swing all the time. For blue, you got Zeno. For red, it may be the hardest is to get rid of, so that's great, especially when a red's going to be probably prominent in this meta, in this set. Black has no way to deal with it, at least multiple. You would have to do Bardock and then double Bardock, which is very hard to keep 2 Bardocks on the turn. Yellow, good luck. That would be Golden Frieza, but then you would need another one as well, and there's no way you're playing for 12 energy. 2 Golden Friezas because they're on play effects. And then blue itself has got Zeno. So, yeah. There are many ways to get rid of multiple Vegetos, which is a pretty big bummer. Then we got Vegeta. I'm not too sure, honestly, how this is going, because we're going in like a really fast-paced thing going on. And with Vegeta, you know, you kind of want to be taking your time blocking. So I really have no clue how this is going to go. Especially when he wants to be on that lower health threshold. But I'll probably, for the safe time being, I'll probably give him S. But I'm not too sure if I want to give him like the highest of S. He would probably be the lowest of S, just because of that. It's just the 35,000 is just really strong regardless. I think you could probably fit in Gotenks in the package somewhere. I think Gotenks is actually a very strong card if you can get 10 cards in your drop as well. Then we have Broly here, who really didn't get anything too amazing other than the warm greeting card, which technically he really needed. Next up, we have Broly. This one's a tough one because obviously not many people are running Broly. Not many people ran Broly in set 3 as well. He did get a nice additional card, which is warm greetings and Nappa, which is very, very good in terms of ramping. It's tough to say just because I don't know where this is heading. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and just be in B, the 25,000 body. The faster ramp, technically, because you awaken and ramp, which is very, very strong. I'm just going to give him B. He might fall down. I could see him at C, depending on how this tier list is shaping up, because I kind of want it to be like quite even in terms of all of the letters. Then we have Cell, who got the Cell Games Arena turn 3, which is pretty strong. It's still Cell, but I think he could work out. It's a little bit faster. It's definitely a high roll. I guess... So I'm going to give him a B. But a pretty high B, I would say. Now having 4 energy on the next turn, and then ramping up to 5... and then getting your, if you awaken that quickly, boom, you can get fast energy really quickly. You can go like Cell Games Arena on turn 3, then turn 4 you use it, so then you'll be at 5. If you're awakened, you go to 6. If not, you just play Nappa, boom, ramp again, or Destructive Strength into into Nappa. That would be crazy. That would be a crazy combo. I don't know if that's actually feasible. Or like if you're at 5 energy, if you're at 5 health, you go Nappa first, then Cell Games Arena, and then the Cell effect. You know, it's like you can get some pretty crazy combos from turn 4 onwards if you can get Cell Games Arena turn 3. Cool as D. Even though you got 1 additional card, which is better than some other decks, it's just not enough to warrant him. He's a crit leader, which kind of sucks right now. And the effect on his awakened side is just not really relevant. Did we get any, other than that cooler, any 4-cost Frieza army cards? I don't even know. It's pretty bad. Then we have Daima Goku, which is actually just Beerus, but better. Doesn't neg as much, but still negging 5k is so strong. And then the plus 5k is extremely nice, especially... as Fusion World is a numbers game at the end of the day, so buffing up to 25,000 to 30,000 just gets rid of so many of their cards, and then it makes it just so much easier to get rid of enemies' cards by swinging, and 5,000 is really just enough to, like, keep the red system going of negging and destroying by game mechanic. So I really like Daima Goku. He's got some really good value on his leader, and of course he's got so many red cards, so it makes him very, very strong. Only thing that you lose instead of running Beerus is the 3-cost Beerus into 5-cost Beerus turn 4, or energy 4. That's the only thing you're losing, which can help out a lot, especially against like androids or like other yellow decks or something like that, spammy cards, whiteboards. That's probably the only thing that you lose, but that's, you know, an easy trade-off for more cards in your hand. Then we have Daima Vegeta, which I don't know what they were thinking about this card, but it is a D. It is just not worth it. The cost reduction, if cost reduction was that much easier, it would work out, I would say. But with Vegito being like the best cost reduction card, and it's just so easy to get rid of, like even in set 3, it was so easy to get rid of. It just, like, it can't work. It just cannot work. Maybe it might. Maybe someone finds the hidden strat, but from what I've seen, especially with no general blue buffs, it's not that great. Then we have Frieza, which I just don't know if it's really worth it to just restand 2 cards. It's yellow at the end of the day. It's going to get hard blocked by Jiren, especially this guy. But since Jiren is not the only strong pick as red, I'm going to give him B just because the matchups might actually work out for him. But if he versus Jiren, that's probably his like hardest enemy. A lot of the others, he can probably control the board easily enough, lock the board. And so I might just give him a B just because of that. Ginyu is definitely a high roll. I feel like B is like, you gotta get that high roll to make it work. And Ginyu is just like the definition of that, but on a worse scale. So I'll just keep him at B here. Like, he can catch people off surprise. Again, Jiren comes in or 25k body comes in, then it's just, it's not a good time for sure. Even though he has cards that can buff up some Ginyu forces to 25,000, it's just too much. It's just too much resources at the end of the day. Then Goku Black is just on par at B. He's a high roll deck, so you can actually just like obliterate any of these, but you just need to find multiple 6 costs. I think Gohan's going to be better than Goku Black just because he's not a crit leader. And it's essentially doing the same thing. You pull out the 6 costs. Technically, if you get like a not so knowledgeable opponent and they awaken you while you have 4 energy and you have like the 2 cost Zamasu or like, you know, or just like a Zamasu on the field, then you can pull out an actual turn earlier. But for the most part, you're most likely going to be pulling out Goku Black for a 5 energy at that point in time, which is on par with Gohan's speed. It's just I think that Gohan can probably find the 6 cost Vegito a little bit faster. Although, if Goku Black can last long enough with the Gotenks package, he can recuperate those cards, while Gohan will start off with a lot of cards, and then it will slowly dwindle down, because Vegito doesn't really recoup cards for him. There's not many cards that recoup cards. I would say Galactic Donut and... that's about it. Can get him some +1 cards. But it's, if you ever run Ultimate Gohan, you'll find out like there's not really much time to be running Galactic Donut because it's so expensive for one, and then you want to use the Gohan effect for the bigger cards, for the 5 cost energy cards. I think there had to be some sort of balancing with the energy amount for those extras to make it work out. But yeah, so I would say they're tied in some sort of way. Both have their favorable moments. Then we have Gohan here. I want to say he's on B level as well. I don't know if it's... Maybe in Brawly, I don't know. One thing is, if we're on a wide board situation, Gohan is worse than Brawly. And then, I mean, Gohan's already had another option to return a Jiren, which is one of their worst enemies. So, like, in that aspect, Gohan technically is better. If we're versing tall bodies as well, like Blue, then... you know, Gohan's going to be a lot better as well. So it's just more like preference here. Yeah, in my opinion. Vegeta's an interesting one. I just haven't seen a lot from him. I've seen a lot of Baby. I've seen a lot of Boo. But Vegeta's an interesting one. Maybe I haven't seen... Maybe people are still trying to figure out. I'm going to be putting him in high B. Playing low cost cards is like great for Blue. Because Blue can just like easily bottom deck stuff, but maybe it works fast enough and is strong enough for the other colors as well. But I'm really not too sure on how I think about Vegeta. For now, I'll just keep him safe and put him in B. B is like my safe spot. I think he could shoot up to A. I just need to find out what the lines are, what are the best lines are, and how he deals with the other decks, because he's definitely not the best green deck for sure. He might be the second, but it's to be determined. Angel Goku, I think, is an A. He got some Satan City buffs, enough to make it somewhat still usable as well. He's topped already some tournaments as well, with set 4, and I think he's like a high roll card as well, early game, but like he makes it, once late game, he just goes off. He really does go off. And so I will be putting him A. I think he may be better than Vegeta, but again, I'm not really 100% certain. You could probably, they're really tied. They are really, really close, but I think I do prefer Goku over Vegeta, I'll tell you that much, but I would have to test out Goku on all of the other matches as well. Then we have Jiren, which I think is an S tier boss. He's the boss that all other bosses need to beat in order to be S tier. And so he's like still the gateway, because the fact that people build decks around the Jiren matchup just goes to show like how strong he is. Paired up with the UI Goku is actually also ridiculous as well. Not only you negate an attack, but then you also just can't get double striked as well. It's actually just a ridiculous combo. And the 25,000 body is just always so annoying to have to deal with. But so yeah, I just think overall he is S. Piccolo is D. He got no real necessary buffs. He's too slow still. Everybody got like something. Maybe I will put the greens here. It feels bad just putting them there, but maybe I will. Damn, it really does feel bad. Piccolo, yeah, it's just to function at 8 kind of just sucks. It really does. Then we got Goku, which is, I give him B. He's still the average leader. With the red buffs, you know, it makes him that much more usable. So I'll give him that. He's still very, very good. And then the Diamond SR Goku is just really strong as well to help Silver Awaken. So yeah, I think mostly the reds just can't go in D regardless. Yeah. Then we have Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I want to put him in S, but for now, I just think still on that level, Bardock. I still think Baby is going to be the best black leader, so there's no point in putting that. And then, yeah, I mean, they're roughly going to be the same-ish deck at the end of the day, working with the energy marker. And so I'll be putting them in A. Boo, I will put him in S. I think the biggest factor is that he can minus cards out of your opponent's hands, which is really strong for free, essentially. And he still has, he can go wide as well. He can do multiple swings, which is still very potent for the Jiren. It's just that if Jiren gets, it's just that you have to go extremely wide for multiple. I think if Jiren plays out one Jiren, it's definitely doable. 2 Jirens, we're really, really pushing it, but if there is a slim chance, and then 3 is just like GG's. Like, it's too much at that point. But at this, yeah, I think for the most part, Boo could make it. Boo can make it, and I'll be putting him in S because he can make it. If he dodges Jiren, his matchup against all the other characters is super strong. It's really, really strong. Then God Goku, which is really not the worst leader. I'll probably put him in C. You know, if you can find the Kevlar, then you can still rush down. You got a lot of self-awakeners. It's just that you don't self-awaken as fast, but you still get a good board. Trunks is an interesting one as well. I just put him in B. He's still stuck on the 7-card system, like Vegeta, but you know, not a 35,000. You have to spend an energy just to get him into that 40,000 range, which one energy is just super important sometimes. So yeah, I would say probably B. The bounce effect is good, especially with like against the wide board, but it's just a bounce at the end of the day. And there's a lot of on-play effects, which is super annoying. Like if you're really gonna bounce like a Boo or something, which has an on-play effect, I don't think so. It's kind of annoying. Super Saiyan Blue Goku can go in C, just not as strong as Super Saiyan Goku. Not everything has a Universe 7 trait. It kind of works though, because there are some Universe 7 characters. Maybe I'll put him in B. Yeah, the 5 cost is really strong. Not being able to remove being a 50,000 swing, I think now with the Goku lead, actually he could work quite well. UI Goku is, to me, an A character. I think the ruling for him kind of sucks. I think the one thing is that can't copy combo cards. So when somebody, like, say for blue, they peel off combo, it actually hurts the hand size quite a lot. And especially that you can't draw off Awaken and you can't draw off Swing. you get gassed out. You will get gassed out. And it's not like blue where you can get stuff from the drop so easily. It's not like green where like they can just get, they have the Hercule, they have Android 18 that helps them draw one card, discard one card, and help filter out. It's not as good. You got to play like Jiren in there, and you might as well just run red Jiren in my opinion. And then, of course, as you can see, a lot of wide bodies. Remember, the effect only happens for the one battle. And so, most likely, you're relying on your board than their board. Which means that you need to have that, say, UI Goku or the 5-cost Goku Frieza to help buff him up for the one attack. Kind of like Gohan, but on crack, essentially. And then we have Boo here, which I think is just a C character. I think he's a funny deck, but it's just like, it's not really worth it per se. It is definitely a funny deck. I think you can make it all work for sure. Like, you can definitely make it work. It's just that you're not getting anything too special, I don't think. Vegeta's probably still A. I think he's still better than Frieza. The restanding on 2, and you got the extra energy as well that can rest another card, which is very, very strong. Any card as well, the blind absorption or whatever it is. But overall, still sticking to that same lockdown tank, playing with the barrier Boo as well. Still think it's a very solid deck. And then finally, Mozomasu, which I'm going to say B. I think he has potential to be A, just because he's a 25,000 body. Again, it all relies on how fast everybody goes. And if it goes too fast, then he gets overwhelmed really quickly. But if you can start using that Gotenks package, I think he actually works really, really, really well. We definitely have to do some testing because I think the new skinny Gotenks can actually get him some major value. I'll keep him in low A just so that everything is a little bit fairly balanced. I would say there's a lot of B characters. That would be my only gripe if I can move one. I feel like I'm definitely going to get a lot wrong, but for the most part, I think I got most of the top tier characters kind of right here. I definitely could see a lot of these C characters and B characters shuffling in positions. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. This is my preliminary tier list. If you guys did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video as always. Until then, peace.